Okay. Testing. Gonna also play some music to see. Testing. Okay, that may be a little too loud. There we go. Okay, everything seems to be working fine now. Hello, my lovely toads, and welcome to my very next live stream series. This is based off of another YouTuber that I've watched that I don't really remember the name of. I'm going to be ranking every track in the Mario Kart series. And I'm going to start with Mario Kart 8, then I'm going to do Mario Kart 7, then Super Mario Kart, Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart Double Dash, Mario Kart DS, and then Wii. I guess I probably should have finished my intro before I said the order I was doing these in, but I don't know, I'm not really expecting that much from this stream at first. So, yeah. Today I will be ranking the Nitro tracks in Mario Kart 8, because, well, I don't know, I just feel like it. I have a lot of passion for Mario Kart, so, yeah. In future videos, I may show my webcam. If you're interested in that, then we'll see. In the meantime, though, I don't really think it fits my overlay setup, so yeah. Oh, you can see that. Huh. Well, anyway. So, let's just waste no more time and get into the ranking. Mario Kart Stadium. So, before we rank the tracks, we should probably analyze them, just so that we know what exactly just so that I can fully explain what my opinions of the track are. So first off, as you can tell, this game looks absolutely stunning, though that really shouldn't be a shock. Hold on, is my mouse recording? Okay, good. So yeah, here we are with Mario Kart Stadium. Sorry for the video quality, I have like 8 tabs open right now, and my computer for some reason can barely handle like 2. But anyway, it seems like it must be an earlier version. Mario's portrait looks a lot different than it does later. But anyway, yep, this is Mario Kart Stadium. I probably should have commented on some of that stuff, but I didn't really have much to say. It used a very classic setup with the whole dash panels on the side, which it's a classic, but it works. Also, you can see to the left there's that glider shortcut. That's pretty neat. I guess I don't really have much to say about this track, but oh yeah, I do like how many of the game's mechanics it introduces. Like, you're already in anti-gravity, and we've just started. Also, there's a really neat shortcut with that glider where you can use it to get across the pipes to the left. That's actually pretty neat, and I feel like it's those minor shortcut opportunities that actually help elevate this track a bit. I mean, I don't really need to show the rest of the laps, but we're all dying to know whether he gets hit by this red shell in the footage I popped up. He doesn't. Okay, so where does this track rank? See, for a starter track, I actually think it's really good. The aesthetics are really nice, and there's some fun shortcut opportunities. As a track, though, I don't think it's anything I would go back to replay. I think it's just simply the fact that the layout is a little too simple. Still, it's okay. I'm gonna put it in B tier. I think it's definitely a solid start. But don't forget, we're not just ranking the tracks, we're also ranking the music in the list that looks exactly the same. So because of that, let's go listen to the song on its own. It does a really great job capturing that grandiose feel of the rest of the track, I will say. Yeah. I mean, it's a good song, but I feel like it kind of peaked at the start. I think just like the track, I'm going to put it in B tier. It's a good foot tapper, and it has a really strong start, but I don't think that the second half really does it for me like the first half. Anyway, now we're on to we're on to Water Park. Sorry, I got a little ahead of myself. I've never really cared for Water Park all that much. Let's watch the video to see why. Probably should have. Yeah.
Whoa, the new iPhone 15.
We get to watch this ad together. If I have to watch it, you have to watch it too. Okay. So yeah, it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Like, there's a lot of really interesting pieces to this track. So yeah, oh yeah, there's a little branching path there. This game, as you'll see throughout the rest of the video, it absolutely loves branching paths. So be prepared to see a lot of those as we go forward. And here's the main reason why I don't really like the track, and I know I'm not alone in this one. Just watch. Oh wow, that turn is a lot shorter on 200cc. Whatever the case, yeah, that's the main reason. The idea of a Mario Kart track taking place in a water park is such a cool idea. And unfortunately, a large portion of the track was that turn you just saw. There's this teacup thing that's really cool, but like, you know, it's a mushroom shortcut. You don't even have to drive in it when playing the track casually. So because of that, combined with the previous thing not really feeling all that amusement parky, despite the fact that it's supposed to. This right here is the only part of the track that really feels like it lives up to the potential of the concept. And it's already over. I mean, I'm not really sure what to say. A part of me really wants to like this one a lot more because I do like a lot of ideas of it. Also, this must be like the British version or something. It's not called Marine Coast in America. But anyway, whatever the case, I don't really know what to say. I'm actually kind of struggling in between whether I want to rank this one in C tier or B tier. It just doesn't really excite me as much as it should. For a track that takes place in a water park, I just feel like there were so many cooler things that they could have done if this wasn't so early in the game. But unfortunately, they were too afraid of alienating new players, and because of that, we just got one of the most bland tracks in the series. But at the same time, it's not like it doesn't do anything to deserve D or F tier, but it doesn't, for me, it lacks that extra push to put it in B tier. Like, I don't know. Ask me tomorrow and it may get a B minus, but for now, I think I'm giving it a C plus, or upper end of C. It's kind of hard to describe why. I just don't really like this one all that much. Oh yeah, we still gotta listen to the music though. Alright, that's a pretty solid foot tapper. I hope it's not like Mario Kart Stadium, where it started off really strong and kind of fades out towards the end. Ooh, I don't know what instrument that was, but that actually sounded pretty cool. Yeah, that sounds good. Is there an underwater version, though? Unfortunately, the version of the soundtrack I have pulled up, I think... Okay, so there is an underwater version. I mean, we already listened to the overwater version, so I feel like we already have a good idea of what it sounds like. I actually quite like it. I think it's going above Mario Kart Stadium in B tier. It's just a really pleasant song. Not really a... It's still... The thing is, I don't think I'm ever going to use F tier, but I'm still including it because why not? D tier... D tier is songs that I dislike. C tier is songs that I don't feel strongly for one way or another. B tier is songs that I think are decently hummable, but not anything I would jump back to re-listen to. A tier are songs that are really good and I would love to re-listen to, and S tier is just flat out boppers and songs you must listen to. So yeah, that's Water Park. Overall, I think it's an okay track, but it just feels so underwhelming when it really shouldn't. Alright. Time for Sweet Sweet Canyon. I actually heard a few complaints that this track looks way too yellow. I think I kind of agree, actually. Like, with the sky being pink and all, you'd think that the track would look a bit more pinkish, but it's all drenched in this, like, kind of uglyish yellow. The track still looks tasty enough, but for a track themed around sweets, it should look a little bit tastier in my opinion. But then again, that's also just my somewhat cynical side coming out. Yeah, as you can see, we already got another branching path section. Though this one is way longer than the previous one at the very least. Also, this person is... He's still better at 200cc than I am, that's for sure. Frankly, that kart combination is awful for 200cc. Oh yeah, I probably should have commented on the donut shortcut over there, next to the item things. It's actually a really fun shortcut to take, I'll say. I was surprised that it's actually pretty difficult for being in the Mushroom Cup, but it's really satisfying when you can pull it off. So yeah. I guess I just don't really have that much to say about Sweet Sweet Canyon. Does it go above or beneath Mario Kart Stadium? The thing is, I feel like Mario Kart Stadium looks a little bit better. And yeah, I guess there's not really anything that special about Sweet Sweet Canyon, so I guess I'll put it below. I don't know. The thing about these rankings is that it's kind of hard to piece together what exactly I think of the tracks sometimes. This is mainly going off of the whim what I think. I haven't played these tracks more than like maybe twice, 3 times. But I feel like Sweet Sweet Canyon is just... I don't know. It's just a track that, while I do like and is a really memorable one, it's still just not really anything I think I would jump at replaying. Also, as I said, it's drenched in yellow, which kind of takes away a bit from the aesthetic, I feel. But what about that music? Yeah! I mean, how could you not just smile when listening to this song? For me, the song is really what makes the track, and that's why I was considering putting it over Mario Kart Stadium. I mean, it's just an absolute bop. There's not much else to say about it. It's probably not going to be one of the higher A tier songs, but it's just a really enjoyable romp. And speaking of romp, let's rhyme with romp and go to Thwomp Ruins. That was a lot more clever in my head. So right off the bat, it is a kind of cool tempo look, I will say. Oh wow, it's the final race of the video, guys. I hope you're prepared. That was a joke. We still got a lot more to go, though. I also feel like this video has been really short so far. Way shorter than I expected, so... I'm not really sure what that guy was trying to do there. Once again, I've been kind of... Okay, so this section's kind of cool. It looks a little bland right now, but in future laps it gets a lot better. Then there's the split path section here, where you can go either left or right, though eventually something knocks down the middle. And this is actually going to be the first track that we look at more than just the first lap because of that. Then there's this section, which is... it's kind of whatever. Also, I gotta say, I've been praising the aesthetics of this game thus far, but this track doesn't really do it for me. I do like the ancient temple aesthetic. It's something Mario Kart hasn't really tried before, but there's just something about it that I feel like could have been done a little bit more interestingly. Oh my god, that's just insult to injury right there. Anyway, there's that little shortcut you can take on the left. Is he gonna go for it? He does! It's actually a really satisfying shortcut to pull off. And you know, this section is also pretty cool, the glide down. So yeah, but as I said, we're going to be showing more than just the first lap, because there actually is some more to show. Though, it's... okay, I guess it will have to be lap 3. But yeah, oh, he goes underwater. That section certainly exists if you want to be slower. And then... is he gonna do it a second time? Oh my god! Oh, wow, there were a lot of boos in the water today. Yeah. Okay, are we actually going to see it? There we go. These little rolling cog things. They spawn it. We're supposed to spawn in that lap too, but I guess 200cc makes you pass that. And as you can see, they also knocked down that wall, and now you can take this middle route with the glider. So yeah, that's pretty cool. There's actually a lot of pretty decent things about this track. And overall, I think I do think the aesthetics could be better, but for what it is, I do actually quite like it. Top of B tier so far. But I still don't think any of these have really wowed me yet. Like, they've had some pretty cool parts, but I don't think any of them have been worthy of A tier yet. Though, Flump Ruins is definitely on the higher ends of B tier. Bland aesthetics are only so much as long as the track itself is good. And this one is pretty good for the Mushroom Cup track. But how's that music? So first off, I gotta say that is a really odd main instrument choice, and I can see some really disliking it. To an extent, I do wish that they would have chosen anything else, but I don't know. I think it kind of adds its own vibe to it. Plus, if you dislike it, it's already over. Yeah, I quite like that too. I think it's going beneath Sweet Sweet Canyon in A tier. Something I could see actually, maybe I don't really think I would find myself re-listening to it, so I guess on the upper end of B tier is a good place for it. But at the same time, I do like, you know what, I'm just putting it at very low A tier. Now, unfortunately, we get to the next track. So this game's variation of Mario Circuit is an ad. 0 out of 10. Nah. So this game's variation of Mario Circuit, it has a really cool concept. As you can see, there is track beneath and above the playing field. That on paper sounds really awesome. I mean, just look at the background and how it all contorts and stuff. It all just sells the vibe that you're going on a twisting, turning track. So how's the actual track itself? Well, so you take a left turn. You can get a lot of purple sparks on this map, which is kind of fun. And then you take a right turn. And then you take a left. And then you go on a bridge. And then you take a right. This section right here is moderately cool, where you go off of that glider ramp and you see the entire track twist and turn as you go up to the thing. That's pretty cool. That is like the one positive I have about this track. Other than that, it is legitimately like the bare minimum to be considered a Mario Kart track. Look at this mini-map. It is literally a figure 8. Remember the last time Nintendo made a figure 8 track? It was one of the most infamous tracks in Mario Kart history. And sorry, but because of that, I may end up putting it in D tier. Maybe I'll move it because that one part where the glider twists is kind of cool, and getting purple, you know what, I think I convinced myself to put it on the lower end of C tier. It's not bad, it's just really boring. And for the 8th Mario Circuit in the series, it really just feels like they're all out of ideas. The Mobius Strip idea, which is what that kind of terrain is called, the Mobius Strip was a cool idea for a track, but they just didn't do anything with it. Or at least nothing interesting. So, yeah. Overall, not really a fan of this one at all. But hopefully the music can at least pick it up, right? Well, I like that guitar at the beginning. I wish you could see my face right now. I am not enjoying this all that much. First of all, let's just take a listen back to Mario Kart Stadium. I mean, why not? Hey, wait a second. Yeah. This game technically has a different song for every Nitro track, which is the first time in the series this has happened. But this is technically not true, considering Mario Circuit and Mario Kart Stadium are both remixes of the same song. I don't mind that inherently, but I just don't like this remix. I don't know what it is, but something about that echoey, the high-pitched synth just really grates on my nerves. And it's also weird because I hear a lot of people say that the song is actually really good. And yeah, I keep pausing just because I don't want to listen to the whole thing, but I mean, I gotta for the sake of this video so that you guys can form an opinion on it. I don't even like that trump or whatever instrument that is. I don't even really like that. And unfortunately, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe loves that instrument. Yeah, sorry, but there just was not anything that I'm gonna say it. This goes in D tier. I just don't really like it. It kind of gives me a headache to listen to. So yeah. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but well, this is my video and this is my opinion. I mean, this was not hard at all for me to make, so if you really think that my list is terrible or whatever, you're free to make your own list that better fits your own opinions. But for me personally, Mario Circuit is just one of the worst tracks in the series, or at least with the song, is just one of my least favorite songs. So yeah. Hold on, I gotta do something real quick. Well, that sucks. I don't think anyone's gonna tune into this stream. Well, whatever. There'll always be the archives, and honestly, I think I'm doing a pretty good job with it for my usual standards. Yeah. So anyway, let's move on to the next track, shall we? Wash that track out of our mouths. Toad Harbor. This one I actually really like. You know, believe it or not, there was actually a time period where I didn't like Toad Harbor. I thought that it was just a worse version of Shy Guy Bazaar for Mario Kart 7. But now that I reflect, I realize that I was just being a big baby, which was just the case for a lot of things back then. I personally always take those dash panels to the left, but I think that's the one thing that this track has going for it. There's a lot of branching paths in it, and it lets you as the player determine where you want to go, and I feel like because of that, it is the strongest usage of that branching path thing. Aw, man, he's taking the lame route. I don't even know if that skinny path is quicker, but I always take it anyway. This part's pretty cool. I actually never knew that that going on the wall was way slower than doing what he's doing and just going on the rails. But yeah, it's actually way slower. You pretty much never want to do it. Not really sure what I think about that, but it is pretty neat. And the section in general, I actually really like this whole vibe of going downhill with all of these houses and avoiding the trams and stuff. And that section to the left reminds me a lot of DS Delfino Square, which is not a negative in the slightest. So yeah, that was pretty good actually. I think we finally did it. We finally got our first A-tier track. It doesn't do anything individually really well, but it's just a really well-designed track. And I think that's all it needs to be. It's actually kind of interesting that some of the tracks with the blander aesthetics ended up towards the top, except you, Mario Circuit. Now for the music. Hey, wait a second. 2 minutes. 201 minutes. I've been bamboozled. Bamboozled, I say. You know what, yeah. For some reason, I never really cared for this one for a bit, but the more and more I listen to it, the more and more it grows on me. You're going above Thwomp Ruins. Or maybe below. You know what, I think maybe below. But I still really like you. Yeah. Oh, this is the hard part about these kinds of tier lists. You end up in a lot of situations like this where you can't tell if you're being biased or not. But I don't know. Ask me in a bit, and Toad Harbor will probably end up above Thwomp Ruins. But for now, my personal enjoyment of Thwomp Ruins is a bit higher than my personal enjoyment of Toad Harbor. So, that was Toad Harbor. A really good, solid track all around. Now let's go for a more brittle track, I guess you could say.
Here's one thing
or a more malleable one.
Good
Good old
Don't
AirPods.
spend another dime on Amazon.
Nah, it's Twisted Mansion. So first of all, that branching hallway with the twisting paths is pretty cool. And there's also that mushroom shortcut with the bookshelf that he just passed that I almost never seem to notice when I play the game. Amateur. I usually go the top path because it's cooler to see the fish upside down, personally. Also, yeah, there's just a random underwater section, which is pretty cool, I guess. Oh yeah, and that path also gives you a better way to this. This is one of many set pieces in this game that reminds me of something from Mario Kart 7. The gliders that take you to either a top or bottom path. That was done in Mario Kart 7's Bowser's Castle, and is done more than once in this game. But I guess it's not bad. I actually quite like this, the knights with the little hammers at the end of this track. It's a pretty cool stage hazard. So there's nothing wrong with the track as it is. I actually quite like it. But there is one catch. This track could have been so much more than it was. I mean, it's Twisted Mansion. For the like, how many Ghost House tracks do we have at this point? I don't even care anymore. This one just, it does a lot right, but at the same time, I feel like it struggles getting itself to stand out amongst the crowd. You know? Yeah, you know. You know what I'm talking about. Hold on, I'm remembering. For some reason, these are out of order. But anyway, Twisted Mansion is a solid one, but because of the fact that the hammers at the end just make me think, how much cooler would it have been if they mixed horror with medieval? Kind of like the Dark Ages in Plants vs. Zombies 2. That would have actually been pretty neat, but instead it's just another Ghost House track. And it's fun, but I still feel like it could have been more. So because of that, I think I'm going to put it here. I do like racing on it. I just can't help but shake the feeling that the track could have been a little bit better. But now we're moving on to Shy Guy Falls. Oh, wait, no, the music. Now we're moving on to the music. Eventually. Okay, so this is similar to Thwomp Ruins, where it uses a somewhat dorky instrument for the rest of it. In this case, I actually think it works even better than it did in Thwomp Ruins, though. It kind of gives it this playful horror vibe to it, and I don't know, I quite like it. Like, you know, it kind of sells the fact that the ghosts are doing this for fun. No, I really like the way this one comes together. I think it's going under the Sweet Sweet Canyon but above Thwomp Ruins. Definitely one that I'm going to see myself re-listening to. Yeah, there. Ask me tomorrow when it may change, but I'm doing that for now. Yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Why did I say that? Obviously that's what we're doing. Okay, now it's time for Shy Guy Falls. I accidentally spoiled that a bit earlier. Oh hey, it's the final race again. As you can see, this track is actually pretty dang wavy and rough. But you know, it is the final track of the cup. It kind of makes sense. This jump over the waterfall is pretty cool as well. And then you get to go up the waterfall. Though, this is also the third time in the Flower Cup where something reminds me of the set piece from Mario Kart 7. This being very similar to the Rocky Mountain and Rock Mountain. I guess I probably shouldn't complain too much. It's really tough to come up with ideas 8 entries in, and to be fair, it is really cool rushing off the waterfall with the dash panels. I didn't even see what hit him there. Alright, trust me, the track is not as hard as this guy made it seem. That said, this guy's actually doing pretty well in 200cc. But anyway. Oh, I never even noticed the fact they switched to Luigi for this cup. But yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, no, this is the right one. Shy Guy Falls is definitely going in A tier. Above Toad Harbor. It's a really just invigorating track. Also, as you can see, this cup was kind of all over the place. But whatever. It makes it a little bit interesting, I guess. So now, let's continue. Music time. Yeah, it's a really invigorating song. Still, though, I don't know. It's definitely going in A tier. I think between Twisted Mansion and Toad Harbor. It's a nice invigorating song, but it's another song where I feel like it kind of loses momentum as it goes, similar to Mario Kart Stadium. In fact, because of that, you could argue it could be in B tier, but I don't think it loses momentum quite as hard as that song does. So yeah, overall, the soundtrack is actually faring really well in this ranking. And let's hope this continues. Didn't I move Sunshine Airport? Oh, no, I must have only done that for one of the lists. Because, yeah, you know, obviously I have 2 lists. There. Yep, now it's the next one for both lists. So yeah, now we're moving on to the Star Cup. And oh my god, this is a good Star Cup. Like, this may be the best cup in all of Mario Kart. There is no question. Even Odyssey Central agrees. Let's do this. First we have Sunshine Airport. So yeah, there are sites. They exist. Those crates are pretty cool. And then you even get to drive under a plane, and that's just the beginning, which is, yeah. Then you get this section where you can drive in a plane.
Auto insurance
and then you get an ad. Isn't that your favorite part of Mario Kart? Phew, I was worried that guy was gonna get hit. Oh yeah, there's also a mushroom shortcut to the left there where that coin is. I, for some reason, always miss that one. And then you can try to risk it through those boxes, or you can play it safe like this. And it's that kind of split-second decision-making that's pretty cool. Oh, hey, thanks for the banana, Mario. I was getting pretty hungry. I mean, what do I say? It's Sunshine Airport. It's definitely the best track in the game thus far. It's just a really interesting location for a Mario Kart track, and in general, they just do a really good job getting as much as they can out of it. I really do like it. Now, how does the music fare? Surely the music can't be as good as the track itself, right? This one seems to use a similar 8-bit instrument to Mario Circuit, but for some reason it really works for me here. In Mario Circuit, I just found it to be screechy and annoying, but for some reason here, it just really calms me. You can argue about that in the comments all you want. I just love this one. I don't know what it is specifically, but it just never fails to put a smile on my face. Man, Sunshine Airport topped both lists so far, and we're just getting warmed up. But first, Dolphin Shoals. Thanks for the banana again. So yeah, there's actually a good amount going on in this track. You know, there was actually a time where I and many others on the internet considered this track to be one of the weaker in the game, but I don't know, I think after a certain point we all kind of realized that maybe it's less that the track itself is bland, and more so the fact that that it was in a cup of so many highs. Also, the song has like 3 different variations. It's actually pretty cool. Also, yeah, the overworld version is definitely the best. Probably, oh, I completely forgot to comment on the track. I love the part where you jump on the rings. This part with the pipes kind of looks like an expanded version of that one pipe in Wario Shipyard in Mario Kart 7, which I like. Then there's tricking on this eel, which is pretty cool. And then you pop out of the water, and then you get a turn that lasts for just long enough, just like the one in Sunshine Airport. I should probably stop comparing things to other tracks, shouldn't I? Yeah. Though it is weird to me how the track seems to, like, forget that you're underwater for a bit, but I don't know. It's actually a really, or at least the music does, but it's just another really solid track. As you can tell, the tracks with good design end up making it into A tier, and Dolphin Shoals is no exception. I don't think it's quite as strong as the rest of the A tier offerings, but every turn it feels like there's something new in this track. But how about that music? There's actually two variations, as you can see. So it seems like an equal amount of time is in the other variations of it. But anyway, now it's just... Yeah! You're feeling it, aren't you? Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs? I mean, I think that kind of speaks for itself, doesn't it? I mean, where else do I put Dolphin Shoals? It's just a really great track in both variations. I was actually a... Do I like Dolphin Shoals? You know what? Yeah, I do like Dolphin Shoals more than Sunshine Airport. Is it worthy of S? I don't know. Maybe I'll doubt myself, but I just love this song. It's a great listen through and through, and I definitely would recommend you give it a listen if you haven't before. So, now that we're done in the ocean, let's go have a party, baby! We're going on a huge vacation today. Going on an airplane, going on to the beach, going to a rave coliseum. Where can we even go after this? Also, yes, the visuals speak for themselves. This track just looks... It just looks stunning. Oh, hey. So, I actually got my first comment. The track in D... The song in D tier, if you're asking about that, because I'm pretty sure it's the only D tier thing, that's the Mario Circuit. I'm not really sure why it is. I just find that song really annoying. If you can't hear, there's actually a slight variation to the music here. Oh yeah, I also didn't really comment much about the track design yet. As you can see, there's another branching path section. It's actually a very similar color scheme to the one in Sweet Sweet Canyon too. For some reason, it loves this green and pink vibe. But yeah, it's just... you could have very easily avoided that, dude.
I saved hundreds.
Ah.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Shut up.
When you have auto glass damage, trust SafeLight. This dad and daughter were driving when they got a crack in their...
Okay, there we go. Now we can get back to the vibes. This is just one of those vibe tracks where, I mean, nothing has really happened in terms of track design. I guess for those piranha plants, like, there's so much room to the right to avoid them. And then it loops. This is just a vibes track. Those are not necessarily a dime a dozen, but there are a few like that in the Mario Kart series where it's more style over substance. Oh yeah, that's my favorite Mario Kart track too. Anyway, I think because of the fact that it doesn't really do anything particularly special, it's not going to get S tier for me, but it's definitely a solid A tier. I think it's going to go in between Shy Guy Falls and Toad Harbor. It's not going to wow you or anything. It's not the best when it comes to track design, but it's just a fun track to vibe to pop in if you want some good vibes. And speaking of good vibes, how about that music? I mean, how could you not want to bop your head and dance to this one? There's also that cool variation where you're on the swerving platform, but I mean, yeah, this one is going at the top of S tier for this game. I mean, I don't think it's going to get beaten out in the future lists, if I'm going to be real. It's just a really great vibe. So, now that we're done vibing in Electrodrome, it's time we take our final vacation spot, Mount Wario. People adore this track. They seem to call it one of the best in the Mario Kart series, and as much as I want to be a contrarian and say that people are hyping this track up to be way more than it is, yeah, I kind of agree with them. This one is definitely one of the best. I'm not looking for any spoilers right now. I mean, just this initial shot off the mountain just looks stunning. And then another... I do like this, though. How the inner path is actually a little bit riskier because of the fact that it also slopes up and has this ramp. As you can see, it's kind of tough to take. Meanwhile, this is the inverse, where I believe the quickest route is actually the inside of the outside, but maybe I'm wrong. I wonder if you could do a mini shortcut there. Probably not even worth it. As you can see, I mean, we're already in the second section. We barely started, but this cave section's pretty dang cool as well. Where you glide and you hit these rocks. I don't know. And then, yeah. Then you go into whatever this is, which I guess it's like a factory area. Reminds me a lot of Sunshine Airport, but I do really like it. And then my favorite part of the track. It's just such a unique idea to have the dash panels flowing down from the side like that. It's one of the best uses of anti-gravity in the entire game. Probably the best use. Unfortunately, I'm not really that huge on this forest section. Like, am I the only one that really struggles to see that glider ramp to the left? Like, see, it's already gone. Plus, I don't know, it always feels like I'm going the wrong way in the woods, but... yeah, unfortunately, stuff like that tends to happen as well. Yeah, okay, I can definitely understand why someone would really like the forest section, though. It is a really cool aesthetic, and it does have some interesting gameplay. I guess if I were to just get good, I would like it a bit more. It's kind of similar to the opinion of Neo Bowser City. Then there's this awesome part where it actually feels like you're skiing. Going down the skiing hill with those flags and rubbing against the fence. There's even all of these little bumps. That's pretty cool. And then I love this too. You can see the goal from afar. So now it's just a high octane race to the finish. I mean, what do I say? It's Mount Wario. There really is only one place I could rank this one. Yeah, the more and more I think about it, yeah, this definitely deserves the S tier position. It deserves all of the love it gets. How's that music, though? Because for some reason I constantly find myself forgetting about the music of this one. Look, I gotta be real with you guys. I don't really care for this song. I guess I should see it to the finish, though. Why is this song so long? Alright, this part's pretty cool. I mean, I want to just continue with the ranking, but like, I gotta listen to all of the songs to the finish. I mean, I want everyone to be able to get their own opinion on the song, and cutting the song short would mean cutting their opinion short, so. Okay. Just for wasting my time, we're going in C tier. Nah, all kidding aside, I think it's going at the bottom of B tier. I like it a decent amount, but it's just not really anything I think I'm gonna go out of my way to re-listen to. Also, that experience may have tampered my opinion a little bit. So, now we're done with the best cup in the game. I mean, just look at this average. Not a single track lower than A tier. So, now it's time for Special Cup. All the cups in this game have been pretty interesting. Mushroom Cup was just kind of there. Flower Cup was kind of all over the place. Star Cup was S tier. And Special Cup, to me, a Special Cup is just a really mixed bag. Oh wow, this is a weird order. Why did they do the DLC? Why did they do 2 of the DLC cups before the... Okay, whatever, I'll have to remember that. So, Special Cup. It is off to a great start with Cloud Top Cruise. Like, it's just a really cool aesthetic that basically take the vibe of Sky Garden and Mario Kart, or in Mario Kart Super Circuit, and put its own spin on it with airships and this stuff. It basically feels like an expanded Sky Garden, and I'm all here for that, considering Sky Garden is one of my favorite tracks in the series. As you can see, there's a lot of winding turns, which is good. It is the final cup of the original game, after all. That said, that was a little laughable. I mean, I'm complaining about this guy, and yet I would probably do worse in 200cc if I'm gonna be honest with myself. I'm not really a huge fan of that one turn, though. As you can see, it is absurdly tight, especially in 200cc. It's like impossible to make that turn. I'd recommend you go on the right side. For some reason, the right side is way easier than the left, and is slightly quicker, too. But it immediately makes up for it with this amazing cloud section. The idea of going under storm clouds with lightning bolts striking the dash panels is so cool. I love how there's a little subtle glow before they get striked so that you can see which ones are about to get hit. That is definitely one of my favorite parts of the entire game. I also love the really subtle detail of this actually being a question mark block with a huge vine out of it. I never think I noticed that when playing it normally. I haven't really been talking that much about visual fidelity in this game because, I mean, you can see that. And when you're playing the game, I feel like most people, especially me, are just focused on staying on the road. So that was the track. That was really good. Glad to see that they're keeping up the momentum from the previous cup. I'd say this one's going over Sunshine Airport. It would reserve itself a spot in S tier, but I don't like that one turn on the ship, so it does get knocked out of the absolute cream of the crop for me. But that doesn't mean that we won't have any more S tiers in the future. I already see it a really good contender for that tier. For now, though, we still got one more order of business. Did we listen to the music? Oh yeah, duh. Okay, let's listen to the music for Cloud Top Cruise. Okay, so I will admit that I do think that Gusty Garden Galaxy is a little oversaturated in the Mario series, but I think it works here. The song is very clearly going for a Galaxy homage, so, you know, paying tribute to the most popular song in the game makes sense. And don't forget when you go into the storm cloud. Yeah, this nice heavy metal version. You know where this is going. There. I just love re-listening to this one. It's just a banger. I think Yeah, I think I'm gonna move Dolphin Shoals down to A tier. But at the same time, it is the best part of the track. But then again, the music is also the best part of Sunshine Airport. So yeah, sorry Dolphin Shoals, you've been demoted. Cloud Top Cruise, though, you are staying in S. You are just one of the best Mario Kart songs ever written. Now time for Bone Dry Dunes. What, did that entrance seem kind of bland or uninspired or not all that worth being invested in? Congratulations, you have just witnessed Bone Dry Dunes. So I will say that this little city section at the beginning does look pretty cool. I actually quite like the little pot-like architecture in some of the parts if you look around this section. It is kind of neat. But I don't really like the way this track looks. I get that the entire point is that it's supposed to look kind of drab and dull. But to me, it just makes the track look drab and dull. There's no other real easy way to put it. Okay, yeah, you successfully made the track look boring. What do you want, a medal?
Everyone.
No, apparently you want an ad.
I've been trying to catch the Pontiac Bandit for 8 years.
Oh yeah, that mushroom shortcut in the middle, it exists, but I still think taking the right is probably faster. Then there's this windy section, which just does not feel like it was built for 200cc, if you ask me. Like, look at how hard it is to stay on the track here. And this guy's, for some reason, not taking the route on the wall, despite the fact that it's quicker and easier. Yeah, I don't know why you would even... Also, what's up with that geyser with the coin down there? Who would want to land there? But yeah, this final section's pretty cool, though, flying into that dry bones head, and there's the bridge up top and the sand on the bottom. And look, dry bones, I believe their first appearance as a stage hazard in the Mario Kart series. That's neat, even if they are functionally just the same as your other typical hazard. And yeah, we get a better look at the town section, which again, looks pretty cool. If you couldn't tell, I don't really like this track all that much. I don't hate it. I may have made it seem like I hate it. I don't. I just don't really like it that much. I'd say it's going above Mario Circuit, but under Water Park. At the very least, with Water Park, I can see some potential with it. With Bone Dry Dunes, I just feel like they kind of did all they could with a very meh concept. Yeah. So now the question is, what do I think of the music? So literally my first thought when I heard this song, does this not sound like Kirby music? Like, maybe I'm just thinking about this wrong, but just listen to this and tell me you can't imagine this in a desert area in a Kirby game. Now, I may have sounded annoyed, but I do actually think this one's decent. It's one of those songs that doesn't really do anything special, but is enjoyable nonetheless. Yeah, it's okay. I think it's going to go... Wow, we have not had a single C-tier song. Not a single song didn't get a reaction out of me one way or another yet. That's actually kind of impressive. But yeah, Bone Dry Dunes is an okay song. In fact, I may even put it over Mario Kart Stadium, but under Water Park. For such an underwhelming track, it actually has some pretty good music. Now let's move on to the next track. Oh, yes. Are you guys ready for the best Bowser's Castle in the Mario Kart series without a question? Oh my god, the way the gate opens at the beginning is such a cool set piece to start it off with. Then there's the Bowser statues pointing you, and that Bowser statue like, this road is just wavy enough to be scary, but just wide enough to where it's not that scary. Then there's that machine thing in the background, which is just such a cool visual detail, and I like how it's right in the open. Then you get to dodge this fire bar, and immediately after that cog, that is actually a pretty difficult set of obstacles right there. I found myself getting hit a few times there. Then after another fire bar, we get what is supposed to be the main set piece, but I'd actually argue is the weakest part. I don't know, we've already seen Giant Bowser statue in the middle before. Then after some more satisfyingly sharp turns, we go off of a glider. Well, I'm not sure if it's possible to get hit here, it at least looks cool. Then you gotta dodge some boulders up a mountain. or get hit by them, whichever one you prefer. I love how the boulders fall into a spot where if you pass it, then you can go to the higher section. It makes there a bit of a risk reward to the better part. And that's it. That's the lap. I mean, it's not the longest track in the world, but I'd say it is a really good length for what it is. And the track in general... Oh, this is the wrong ranking. And the track in general is S tier. I'm even gonna put it over Mount Wario. It's just a really well-designed track. Not much else to say. I just love every second of it. But what about the music? You know you're in for a treat if that's just how the song begins. I also love how the backbeat keeps this factory aesthetic that the rest of the track has. Like, what do I even say about that? The song is also... I'm not... It's going under Electrodrome just because I feel like Electrodrome is a bit more iconic to me. But it is definitely one of the best compositions in Mario Kart history. God dang. Bowser's... This game's Bowser's Castle. It's just... It is something else. I love it. And then we end on Rainbow Road, which this time, hold on, gotta wait through this cutscene, and this ad, don't forget this ad, Mew and Chick-fil-A commercials. Just shut up and take my body!
Finally had enough.
First race? Come on. You robbed me. Well, whatever. This is it. This is the final race we'll be looking at this stream, so after this, I guess it's goodbye. Well, for now, at least. And who knows, if you tune into this stream, maybe you'll be interested in future streams. But, you know, we still gotta look at the track first. And I gotta be honest, I'm kind of underwhelmed that this is the note we're ending on. I don't like how tight these first two turns are, actually. Like, I don't know, it's just impossible for me to not fall off there, especially on 200cc. Then there's this section, which is pretty much just a section from Toad's Factory. They do this better in later tracks, I'll say that. But, oh my god, the dash panels there are randomized so it segments you into one of the two paths. Oh, that sounds cool. But what is this, like the 6th time the game's done the branching paths thing? Oh yeah, there's that shortcut you can do. Oh, I guess he wasn't attempting the shortcut. Or maybe he was and just failed. And then they end it with the dash panels on the side thing that they've done quite a bit in the Mario Kart series. And that's it. Are you amazed? After a Bowser's Castle that was just interesting and awesome set piece after interesting and awesome set piece, this is the note they end on. I gotta be honest, I don't like this one all that much. I think it's... Does it go above or below Bone Dry Dunes? You know what, I'm gonna put it above just because I like the way it looks a little bit better. But come on, this is the note that you end the game on. But at least the music can pick up, right? I will say it is actually really good. I do kind of wish that they would have leaned a bit more into sci-fi for this one, considering the entire idea is that it takes place on a spaceship, but... eh. Pretty good. It's another B tier for me. I think the top of B tier is a good place for this. It's a solid bop, but again, I feel like there's better Rainbow Road themes out there. It's just unfortunate that we had to end on such an underwhelming note. It is also impressive that not a single one of these songs ended up in C tier. In fact, very few tracks, okay, I guess a decent amount of tracks ended up in C tier. But yeah, as you can see, it's definitely skewing more towards the positive side on both fronts. So, yeah, the Nitro tracks have been really good to us. And overall, I'm actually really glad about this. But, before we go, there is one more matter. I have to add these to the overall rankings. This is what's going to tie all of the videos that I do together. This overall ranking chart for the tracks and the music. So, for the tracks, we just need to copy and paste. Though, as you can see, there is A+, A-, B+, B-, C+, and C-. That's because there are times where I feel like the tracks aren't just A or B or C or whatever. Sometimes it's close to being B, sometimes close to being C, sometimes close to being A. So those are what those tiers are for. So now let's scroll down. There are a lot of tracks here, wow. So, Mario Kart Stadium was B tier, and I think B is a good spot for it. Maybe even B-, but I think B will work. This is going to be a pain, isn't it? Okay, Water Park. Water Park was a C+, which I may end up moving up to a B- at some point. I keep clicking on the wrong tab. So yeah, C+. Then Sweet Sweet Canyon was a B again. Okay, good. I am moving it very weirdly, but I'm moving it. Then Swamp Ruins. You know what? I might as well play some music during this part. So. Swamp Ruins, where will you go? It is Swamp Ruins, where will you go? It is Swamp Ruins, where will you go? I guess we horses go. Mario Circuit, you are seeing my lips. I know the feelings unpopular, but I don't like you, I don't. I did not know the song as well as I thought I did. Toad Harbor mid-A is a good spot for you. Oh yeah, also I will not be looking at the tour. I don't know, I'll explain how I did that. It's twisted. Going in deep plus it's twisted. Or maybe just be, yeah, maybe just be one of. You know what? Yeah. Twisted Mansion, it's maybe just be. Now I kind of feel like listening to that. What's next? Shy Falls was an A. I don't think it's an A+, but it's still an A. Giant Airport and Cloud Top Cruise are both A pluses in my books, though. So, yeah, A plus. Dolphin Shoals. That one was an A for me. Oh yeah, A minus. Whoa. Goes right there in the middle of A, it does. And let's listen to Electro now. Now let's see where the Nitro goes. Now Wario's S tier, of course it is. It is not Wario. But the food goes in a pause of question. Yeah, I think B minus is probably one of them. Yeah. Yeah, you know, mid-C is good. Oh yeah, that one is definitely an S. Sorry if this part of the stream isn't really the most interesting, but I gotta do this at some point, so it's not like I can just jump cut. Maybe I'll do a stream highlights at some point. Okay, this looks good. As you can see, I only have D and F because I don't think that many tracks are going to go into those. Now for the real thing. Okay, now that that's out of the way, it's time we rank the songs. So. Let's listen to Cloud Top Cruise. Oh, that was great. Yeah. I guess we have enough time for one more song, so... Oh, good, it was. There we go. Alright, that is it. We have officially completed the beta version. We have officially completed the regular track rankings and the song rankings. Along with those, we have done quite a bit today, so I hope you guys enjoyed this stream, and tune in tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. because that I will be doing the first half of the retro tracks then. I do have school though, so, you know, I can't do it all day. Until then, though, have